Oh, yeah. All right. Welcome. Good morning to the blockchain basement. The dwellers. What's up, my people? Give me a comms check. Make sure I'm coming over the airwaves here. Make sure, let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Good morning, Laserface, Nicole, Ministator. I think Nicole's on her way out for the pizza party. Hell yeah. Can't wait to see you again. JT, James Tyler, James L. Tyler, Nate 707. Wish you could join us. I wish you too, man. Manawak, can't wait to see you, buddy. All the people. We're building out some really fun stuff in the shop. I'm going to have a question for you guys. We're going to leave it up to the dwellers, the degens, the savages to decide a new product that we're going to be putting onto the website. But I'm seeing a couple things happening on the macro that are going to instill the need for what we're rolling out here in the basement in a heavy, heavy way. A lot of things happening from the Biden camp this morning, a potential pooping of the pants of Gary Gensler jerking off the air. Yes, we noted the European Central Bank getting ready for its rate cuts, very bullish for risk assets. Canada tapping out on their basic inflationary control measures and doing their rate cuts this month. So it's looking juicy. A lot of people just doubt what I say, but then time plays out and turns out I'm right. This is just another one of those things. Now, shout out to you guys. Look at this. Look what we did. Broke 55,000 subs. Huge shout out to you. We're almost to 1,000 videos hammering down on it. Water purification, yes. So water purification. We have just a few things in water purification on the site so far. I love Berkey filters as well, so I'm going to be putting that on there. Here's our just past videos. We have, I don't know if anyone knows this or not, but we went to the range. We had a lot of fun at the range. This is just an inside look at my garden. Kind of what I do around my house. We've been rolling out some interesting things, and obviously the crypto parody songs, polka dot video. So go to our videos, check them out. This is honestly one of my favorite videos I've ever made. It's nice to get out to the range. That's the dream here, is just to build a gigantic community, and we talk about crypto and go to the range. We set up some outdoor adventures. That's kind of the long-term vision I have for us here. So not really just excited obviously I'm excited to talk about the news and everything, but I'm trying to build a community of people that are strong together and that can rely on each other should things continue to get nasty. But what's not really looking nasty? It is the crypto markets. We are in the bull market, folks. Bitcoin sitting here 71,000 flat. The biggest gainers, saw some exciting stuff for Flare. Shout out to the people. Let's just look at Flare overall, because this one is like an XRP maxi lover. XRP maxis is like this coin as well, from the integration that had happened in the past. And this one's a little bit more exciting than XRP. So shout out to him. It looks like it's waking back up, getting ready for its next move up. I also saw Stacks. Stacks is really on the move. Injective waking up from this buy zone we were calling out right around like 24 bucks. Punched down all the way to about 21. But essentially this accumulation range has felt real comfortable. It looks like Injective's getting ready for the next move. Crypto markets are looking primed. And really the Marty Party highlighted something very cool that I saw this morning I found insightful. This is Bitcoin in the blue versus Bitcoin volatility index in the yellow. And you can see the volatility just very, very tight. Regardless of all of the upside, you had a lot of selling from Grayscale, a lot of buys into BlackRock's ETF during that release from the ETF approval right here. And you can just see the volatility was insane during the FTX crash, the correction back down into the bear market. Now just a big old coil setting up for a damn good move. And I'm excited for it. We're here for it. We're set up. We're positioned well. It never feels like I have enough crypto when we are in the bull market upswing. Even though we do our damnedest to collect all the crypto we can here. Basically, 17K was that moment for us. Ever since then, here's where I basically transferred everything from Bitcoin and ETH specifically into altcoins. Turned out damn well, but man, Bitcoin has played a very aggressive part in the upswing for the market. So shout out to the Bitcoin maxis. Honestly, you guys are definitely winning hard right now. I did get a little chance. I've been seeing these Chinese meme coin derivatives. Found this coin this morning. Chinese Giga Chad. I have no idea who made this thing, but you know what I did? I put it into Soul Scanner and it came up with a clean address. So I bought some at like a 500K market cap or something like that. It's actually sitting here just playing around 560K, but we did punch up and it had a moment here of around 900K. So I'm excited to see where this one goes. I'm risking it for the biscuit. So we'll see that. And then Wolf of Crypto Streets. This is a great account for kind of crypto gems. Wolf of Crypto Streets had a really funny post. Let's see if I can go in here and find it. Mother is just absolutely ripping you guys. $173 million. This guy, I want to find his post. It's all Giga Chad, but basically he just posted like, I'll post a bunch of winners, people love me, but then they forget the next day over, and then one of the projects goes to zero, and it's all his fault. Like, I feel that because it's my job to just talk about all the new crypto that I see coming and the things that have the strongest narrative potential for myself and my investing plan, honestly, obviously. But you can't win them all. You know what I mean? So I take little chances on this thing. We'll see if Giga Chad plays out, or Chinese Giga Chad. But and also still holding Giggle Chad. So I'm kind of building out my Chad portfolio. This is pretty big news, though. Robinhood Crypto's worldwide expansion. Robinhood has officially entered into an agreement to acquire Bitstamp, a global crypto exchange with customers across the EU, the UK, the US, and Asia. So it looks like we have a Robinhood expansion happening right now. Robinhood, I know a lot of people don't like it. I honestly don't use it. But when I did first get into crypto, I did use it, back in the day. And I think that it's a good kind of entry pathway for people in, the outside sphere of crypto to kind of get exposure to it in a minimal way, obviously. But it's a good kind of entry point. So it's interesting to see them rolling this worldwide expansion out. Here's Gary Gensler with the GIF of the day, jerking the air off. For some reason, Gensler just felt the need to really get in there and really get after it. A lot of people sad we miss Mother. That's the thing about Wolf of Crypto Streets talking about. Like, we don't catch them all. We are in it. We're in the groundwork. We're buying coins that are, a day old. Vast majority of them are not going to work out. But, that's why I like to use the Soul Scanner for Solana meme coins and me as well. So it's been a hard week, randomness. But you know what? I know she's going to crush it, and I wish her all the best. Like, Hannah and BJ, they were here for all the trenches, help build the channel out. They're off onto their new adventures now. It hits hard. It does indeed, but we continue on. I hope to have them back. So Microsoft and NVIDIA, look at this, you guys. Microsoft, NVIDIA, and Apple are now worth more combined than China's entire stock market. Something amazing about this graph is the black line is NVIDIA, the teal, Amazon, Microsoft in the orange, just all the big players here. Look at NVIDIA's velocity of its upswing. Like, this is the big change that I see happening to the stock market. And a lot of these AI focused or data computing focused companies are going to be a huge part of what the stock market's actually going to look like in 10 years. Just looking at the velocity, it's undeniable. Now, this was a funny post from Finance a Lot. The year is 2026, only 2 years away. NVIDIA just turning into an absolute behemoth on the markets. It is just, it's not stopping. You know what I mean? In this whole infrastructure for AI, we've seen some companies come out today saying that they can get the work of 700 people done with a single AI system handling communications with the public and internal documentation procedures. Now, when a company sees that, they see that there is huge money to be made from automating the systems. NVIDIA on the forefront of that. So, and in that realm of talk, we see the NVIDIA upswing. We hear a lot about the NVIDIA bubble, right? We hear about this giant bubble that's going to fall. Now the .com bubble versus now, things seem to be a little different. I'll move my face out of the way, pull this full screen. So during the tech bubble, stock prices clearly decoupled from fundamentals, a phenomenon that we have not seen recently. And this is the NDX earnings of SPX and percentage of SPX earnings, and then the NDX versus SPX price compared. And you can see that decoupling of earnings from stock price definitely went down in 2001, right? I mean, the .com bubble, undeniable. And right now we see that those revenues are, pretty much in tandem with where the price is moving. And it's kind of hard for people that don't have the ability to absorb a new macro situation, see this and like, no, we're going, this is the .com bubble 2.0. Here it is, where the talks were the strongest. Honestly, the earnings are proving different. They're proving that there is a lot of money to be made with AI, automation, and basically just a smoothing out of the digital economy, electrical economy. And it's just happening right before us. It's about acknowledging it, seeing where the world is moving, and positioning ourselves ahead of this so that we can have the potential to change our lives for the better. So this is interesting. I don't use Adobe, but Adobe is locking clients out of Photoshop and other software unless they agree to new terms of service, which effectively is spyware. Apple demanding unlimited access to all your content and permissions to monitor your files. Clarify that we may access your content through both automated and manual methods, such as for content review. This just makes me, I was complaining about how many things we have KYC'd and, TikTok having access to our files internally. It's just really, really, really aggravating to see that we're basically being herded like sheep into small pens of data buckets that are continuously hacked. We don't have the internet infrastructure to stop hacks right now because Web 2 doesn't want to acknowledge that Web 3 can do the job better. So we are in this weird zone for the next few years of, putting our information into baskets like Adobe, TikTok, and then at the whims and the whisks of the system being hacked at large, which Iran and North Korea and China are provably doing. So it's just a very, very aggravating situation. And something weird is going on the court side right now, you guys. We have Hunter Biden on trial for criminal gun charges continuing today. Hunter Biden's former girlfriend testifying about his near constant crack cocaine and use of lavish hotels at the criminal trial where prosecutors are trying to prove that the U.S. President Joe Biden's son lied about his addiction to illegally buy a gun. Look at that. Another thing, the laptop's real. Shake and Bake bringing it up. The laptop's real. We were told that the laptop conversation was just all this right-wing conspiracy theory that, it's Russian disinformation. The laptop is real. They verified that. And we've known it's real. They've just been basically psyoping us out of acknowledging that it's real and that there is this massive trove of verification of massive crimes done by the Biden family and still nothing to be done. Now, obviously, we have these trials going on right now. Hunter Biden's former girlfriend telling all. And then this. Something happened this morning. Joe Biden whisked away mid-ceremony by his wife and handler, while French President Macron was left to greet the veterans by himself, being whisked away by Jill. And here's Macron just doing his best to kind of handle the situation. What do you think the problem was? Did Joe have a crisis? And let's see what's trending here, because when I saw this, basically pooping was trending. All the rage this morning, pooping. You guys, do you think Joe Biden pooped himself potentially again? This would be huge. Huge news. Breaking news if he did. Bro definitely shit himself, according to Alex Rawson. Here's the moment. Things get a little weird. Let's go full screen just to get the facial reaction. See what we got. Catalones poop. I'm thinking he might have pooped himself. Like, look at that. I mean, he's like leaning into it a little bit. This guy's like, oh my God, he's doing it. Look, this is crazy. Watch this. They're all like, all right, maybe he's all right. Maybe I can do this. He's the president. And this guy. What's that smell? Oh my God. It actually kind of does look like he pooped himself. So, maybe they had to change his diaper. Maybe they had to hook him up with some more amphetamines to keep him going on the stage. Only time will tell. This was crazy. So Tucker Carlson interviewed Nayib Bukele. Nayib coming out swinging for the fences. President of El Salvador just told Tucker that MS-13 participates in satanic child sacrifice rituals after he saved the country from a gang takeover that infected the nation. This involved arresting 75,000 plus gang members in the state or territory of El Salvador, the country. But the mainstream media told me that this is supposed to be a conspiracy theory. This is a battle between good and evil. If you're not awake yet, then it's time for you to start realizing that we are in a spiritual war. They are satanic. They started killing more people, but as the organization grew, they became satanic. They started doing satanic rituals. When you interview gang members in prison, when you ask them why they aren't in the gang anymore, the guy asked, how many people have you killed? He didn't remember how many. I asked him, what's your position? He explained how he went up in the position but left the gang. He explains that he was used to kill people, kill for territory, extortion. But I came to this house. They were about to kill a baby. He said, why are you going to kill that baby? They told him because the beast asked for a baby, so we have to give him the baby. This is the darkness that exists in those locations where we've had unchecked movements of military-age males from countries like El Salvador, Venezuela, Honduras, you name it, China, Central Africa. They're all coming in unchecked at the border, military age, mind you. And they come from situations like this, where the beast is asking them to sacrifice babies. The sacrifices will come to an end, as done by the Giga Chad, Nayib Bukele. I mean, just a huge shout out for Tucker Carlson going in, getting the dirty details about what changed in the mindset of a young president of a pretty large country that had a whole hell of a lot of problems and how based this guy had to become to tackle them. He had to go after mass amounts of people. Like, once the sickness in society reaches a certain growth level, a certain critical juncture, extreme measures are required. And obviously, El Salvador has been drug across the media as some kind of Bitcoin dictator that's just, oh my God, so bad for the people. And here he is explaining how simply the child sacrifices have come to an end. So shout out to you, Naib. And I hope more countries follow suit. We all had, now if y'all remember, before Turkey got hit with 3 7+ earthquakes in a row, and the numbers are still skewed, but the last numbers I saw were over 70,000 people lost their lives. Turkey said no to NATO when it came to putting tanks, the next level of military hardware from NATO into Ukraine, if y'all remember. And then shortly after those earthquakes happened, not saying I'm just saying. And now we have this. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban said the country will not participate in a potential NATO operation against Russia on the soil of Ukraine. It looks like another member of NATO trying to be the voice of reason, trying to say, hey, probably don't move those 300,000 troops that the U.S. is setting up in Western Europe into the area, because that is the big escalation. And yesterday we had to cover something very dangerous. Ukraine using American weapons to strike Russia inside the territory of Russia. Obviously, Putin came out very strong-handedly, as you can imagine, reminding people that, Russia is not above using nuclear weapons to defend its territories. This is getting out of hand very quickly on the underside, and very aggravating, because we did see Russia with the hint of potential for peace 2 weeks ago. That has been since wiped clean, and now we have American artillery being used in their actual territory. So it's a big problem brewing, honestly, kind of getting ugly. But something internal with the United States, this has been a thought of mine for about a half a year. I've tried to be the perpetual optimist, saying that we are going to have an election, but things are getting very, very questionable. We have this Iraq veteran 8888, absolutely fantastic account. If you want to just follow an absolute 2A ultimist, out of Georgia, Eric Blandford, just a really great guy. They're calling for more lockdowns to the bird flu. We see the bird flu narrative being built up in the background. Refuse. They're going to call for mail-in voting from the bird flu in the future. Refuse that. They're going to call for masks once again, even though Fauci might go to jail for using non-science-based arguments to mask the entire nation and really the world. We must refuse. They're going to try to shoot more government-produced poison into your body through quick trials that have no definitive results. Refuse. They're going to want to shut down small businesses again and let Amazon just continue to consume all of Main Street and everything that we know dear, and really destroy local economies at the rate that it's going. We must refuse. Basically, if the government says we're here to help, refuse. I am pretty in line. I mean, not pretty. I'm hard line on that kind of wavelength here. But I do see this bird flu narrative being used harder and harder in the mainstream media. We see the kind of the repetitive nature of news agencies. They'll use the same line, and it just all of a sudden just blankets across all mainstream media. Then people hear it 70 times in a row. All of a sudden they're scared. They're ready to stay home. They're ready to mail in their ballots once again and hope for the best. It is not a good situation. And this is just a quick reminder of what the type of situation we're dealing with, because I think we're at a point where Democrats are like, if they had an election right now, the Democrats are done for. And it's been very odd. I was covering this yesterday. Why haven't they hoisted up Big Mike, Michelle Obama, to be that next person that they lean on to recapture Democrat interest and have even a chance at this election? Something very nefarious come to my mind. It seems that they have already got the election figured out, folks. They don't seem to care much about what we want anymore as the American people. They don't care what their own party thinks anymore. It looks like just a hard-sided push for more Biden action. And this is from Libby Evans. This was outright election interference. Biden conspired to skew the 2020 election. This is through, Facebook, Twitter, all of those different social media outlets, plus, you know, I mean, the system we're on right now, Biden, 51 intelligence agents, everyone on his campaign, and the FBI agents who warned against a Hunter Biden laptop false flag should all be tried on RICO charges. Biden claimed his son Hunter's laptop was a Russian plant. Let's just have a verification of this. So, you know, let's not just believe what we're hearing here. I'll get my face out of the way. We're turning the audio on.
Talking about race right now, and I do want to stay on the issue of race. President Trump,
I have to respond to that.
Please,
because look,
very
there are 50 former national intelligence folks who said that what he's accusing me of is a Russian plant. They have said that this has all the five former heads of the CIA, both parties say what he's saying is a bunch of garbage. Nobody believes it except his and his good friend Rudy Giuliani.
You mean the laptop is now another Russia hoax?
And that's exactly what.
Is this
that's
where you're
exactly
going?
what.
This is
told.
where he's going. The laptop is Russia, Russia.
There it is. And is it? Yes. Yes. Look how serious and how desperate he is when he says that. It's clear in the face. This guy knew that the scam was up, but he's been able to hold down the FBI from being able to, I mean, really, it kind of feels like the FBI's in on it. I mean, how else are we supposed to think about this? The FBI's had the laptop for quite some time. It's the son of the president of the United States. The American people knew it existed. We knew that there was crimes on the laptop. We were wondering why you weren't enforcing the law. Honestly, like, well, why is the FBI ignoring this gigantic scandal? It's because it's been captured. It feels like it's been captured. That's just, I don't know for sure, but this is me as just a red-blooded American that's got a family to take care of and has to come to you and be honest. It feels like the FBI, all these three-letter agencies have been captured for Biden's benefit. And now they're ignoring and trying to still deny the fact that the laptop even exists. And that's just to highlight this, the playing into Russia as the bad guy, right? They just move Russia as this mega villain through Hillary. Russia turned into that Jan meme from, what was that? It was like some movie, Jan, Jan, So basically, I think that they have set the table. And I think that they actually have all of the fear built up about, and someone has a great question. I think it was Shake and Bake. Let's hear bird flu, war, or climate crisis. What will be the next emergency they're going to use to stop the election? They have a whole deck of cards now that they can use to just pull one out of the hat and stop the election from happening right there. And if you take the polling right now, they're getting crushed in the polls. Even CNN is having to admit that they're being crushed in the polls. If it happened right now, they would lose hard. And they're not even trying to lift up Big Mike to be the next contender, which I thought was the obvious play. If you want to be reasonable as a political party, you want to win. It doesn't even, Marsha. That's what she used to say. And it was Jan that said, thank you, Crypto and Baines. What? Brady Bunch. That's it. Thank you, Astro. Yes. I use that meme quite often. It's quite sad that I watched the Brady Bunch like 4 times. That's all I could handle. So there is that. So I think it's going to get pretty ugly, you guys. And that is, really what I'm thinking here is that if they do actually cancel the election or do some gigantic emergency to stop it, I don't think it's going to start basically a bear market too early. I don't think it's going to quicken the bear market returning to crypto. I actually think that what we'll see with the Politify tokens and Bitcoin in general, different devices where we can escape the system and take control of our own finance, putting it on cold storage. Get yourself some cold storage. If you don't already have cold storage and you can't escape exchanges, just keep in mind the exchanges can go under and all your crypto's gone. It's not your crypto anymore. So get it off exchanges. Use code BASE10, the link down in the description, to get your hands on Arculus. This is the one I love, 3-factor authentication. It's fantastic. So we have that going on the financial side, but I expect city centers to once again lose their mind. They're full of people that are already impoverished. Laserface bringing up street chaos, terrorism, and the terrorism. There's just so many different options. There's so many different options for the deep state to use to lock up and shut down this next electoral process in the United States. And with that, things will get ugly. We rolled out the Basement Supplies website. We're getting it built out, and just a slew of different levels you can get here. Honestly, if you're just getting into carrying a bug out bag or anything like that, this is the best option. And what we did here, and why I love the site so much, we have the basic leather pocket here, just a standard one, reasonable, $49. But if you want to actually fill up the bag with everything else that the site has to offer, you can go and you can just tag each different item separately, add it to the EDC pocket, and do the build out yourself. Because a lot of people, like myself, we had a general stockpile of goods, but there's always little pieces that we're missing. So when you go here, go to the inch bag, you can basically get all the different options laid out for you and just add them as you need. Because, honestly, like, I can say that, yeah, crypto's going to go great, but the world at large looks pretty damn ugly right now. And especially if people are if the option for electing our next president is taken away, after everything that this country has been through, it's going over the edge. And crypto surge, be careful. I know I'm on YouTube, but I mean, honestly, like, at a point, if I come to a point where I can't discuss the country's election at large, we've lost so hard. I have to try, man. Like, I know that I've been banned off of many, many different accounts before, but these things are worth discussing. And I'm not coming from this, because Maxine Waters is saying that, people that are on the red or that are thinking about voting for Trump, they're up in the hills. They're training. They're coming down. They're going to come be the boogeyman during the election. It's just, they're setting the table for a really, really bad situation during this election. I do think it'll go down in history books. And it is questionable if Trump will even be able to run. I mean, it seems like they have all the cards in their hands to lay down an emergency order, to do the same thing that we had experienced in 2020. All the points of fear are there. Markets seem to care a little bit less with the average person that's outside, that's just listening to the news and whatever they're being told by 70 different news anchors all in the same morning saying the same thing. That mindset can flip like that. And then all of a sudden, once again, they're at Costco fighting over toilet paper and tiny little knickknacks. It's a very, very thin line that we're riding right now in the American public and really the world at large. The Americans, in my opinion, we still have a great quality of living here in the United States. Yes, it's been diminished. The extra good times, they seem to be coming to an end, but we can move against this and in tandem lean into crypto, lean into preparedness, be that pillar of strength for your local community, because my God, they need it more than ever with what's coming. And I don't mean to sound too dark, but I got to roll the idea out because it doesn't seem like the Democrats need to do anything. It feels like the Democrats are moving in a way where they already have their plan figured out and they already have it in motion. We see chicken farms being culled by the millions of birds. We see the bird flu being now detected in cattle. They're getting ready to roll out. Hey, it's infected a human. We better lock everything down and run away again, guys. You ready? You know the drill. It's just all the mindset pieces are in place there. And, me, I learned in basically from 2016. I mean, I've been preparing and getting ready for primarily civil unrest since 2010. But in 2014, I felt like the invisible enemy was the most effective thing to use against a person's psyche. And we did see my fears that had built up in 2014 come to reality in 2021. They're undeniable that they went. Now we're dealing with the fallout, all the worry of the people that took the experiment. And it hurts my heart a lot. But if I'm not coming up here and speaking these hard truths, I'm doing myself, my family, and my people in the dweller community a disservice by not speaking them. So yes, and please support the channel. As you said, I am on YouTube. We are at extreme risk potential, right? Should I say. So all of your support is extremely important for us to keep this a community focused channel and not really just rely on ads or anything like that, because you guys are the bedrock and you guys are what allow me to come up here and speak so directly to the public. So for that, I am forever grateful because in the 2020, 2021, 2022 timeframe, it felt so dark, so constrained in this dark little cell. It felt like I had been put into in a digital format because the public square is on a digital format now. And if I'm not able to go out there and speak to people on this new public square, it really did feel like a dark cell to have to stay inside. It felt like a muzzle was on my mouth for years. After every single account I would create was just zapped out of existence by algorithmic overlords. And, I am going to be forever grateful for you guys helping me build this up and actually having a place to discuss these dangerous things. And, with that, I discuss the dangerous things, but I also discuss things that are unbelievable, like how in the world is the Federal Reserve going to possibly lower interest rates while inflation's still high? I've tried to explain this 100 times over, but what we saw yesterday with the Bank of Canada and what's to come with the European Central Bank is central banks have to tap out to save the banks that are under them from underwater investments in commercial real estate and ESG initiatives. It's as simple as that. Now, if there was any responsible nature and they weren't dealing with a pool of banks that had over-leveraged themselves on gargantuan debt that is largely in the red from people not using these office spaces anymore, also people running out of money on the middle class and lower class spectrum, that's where you kind of get the confusion. I am literally here just to tell you that NATO countries work in tandem when it comes to central banks. They're setting up for a larger conflict that is hard to believe, but they're going to push the conflict into the next stage. It's going to last years, and then they're needing to print trillions, if not tens of trillions of dollars to accomplish this. That's what's happening. Lock Sky gifting. Oh, you are awesome. Showing the support, Lock Sky. Thank you, brother. It's just the hard truths. And the last time I got banned cold off the internet, it was because of bringing up what was likely to come to Turkey from trying to stop the tanks, from trying to stop the next step and where we already are at now. Now we see 300,000 American troops lining up in NATO countries on the borders and really kind of setting up for the largest. And honestly, it was a pretty easy call to make 2 years ago when we saw a vast amount of the supply of medical equipment and medical equipment that's meant for combat be swallowed up by NATO organizations. It's been very, very difficult to get your hands on good American-made medical equipment, and that's been a problem for years. That's just one of the many canaries in the coal mine that I pay attention to. I don't just read a headline and like, hey guys, this is probably going to happen. No, I obsess about research for years on end. I don't speak unless I have a high confidence that I am correct when it comes to making calls. So, and that's why I don't say, could go up, could go down on Bitcoin. If I feel like we're in a bull market, if I feel like we're going to hold this health on a shelf, I say it. I don't, go the other way. Taking a lot of risk doing so. And I appreciate every single one of you for being here ever since we were at 17,000 Bitcoin, taking a risk on me and trusting the obsessive research nature that literally makes up every single bone in my body. So I appreciate you guys so much. Code of Harry. We do got our own website. It's the basement.supply. And also, that's a good point. Code of Harry. We do have our own website. The Knowledge Center is where we're going to be dropping a lot of very risky biscuit information. And that's going to be part of the Black Site members level. We're still setting up kind of the communication channels for the Black Site in our Discord, but that's where you're going to get to, even more so than what I just said today, all the dirty details of why I feel like these things are true and they're coming will be posted in the Black Site on Discord. And that's where I surely won't be banned. That's what I'm talking about, supporting the channel, giving me that bedrock where I can continue to keep us ahead of the pack when it comes to this news and information and know how to move with not the mindset of fear, because we make poor decisions when we have a mindset of fear. We have to move into this from a position of strength. So I appreciate every single one of you out there. Cali Crypto Dude, much love to you, man. Sack Nasty, Remington Peralt, PB Land, LBS, Bullish on Parade, Shake and Bake, Sufficient Enough, Crypto Surge, Discover Crypto up in the chat. That must mean we're ready to go on over. And Don James, the only crypto channel that drops what's really going on in the world, bro. Yeah, that's why I'm at risk, and that's why I need your support more than ever. It's I feel it coming. I feel the chains of communication coming back down onto society. It's up to us here in the basement to fight back against that with every inch of our body. And until 2 p.m., I hope you guys are doing well. I'm going to get out of here, see what else is breaking on the news line, and see what happens. I can't wait for the pizza party. Also, guys, for the 2 p.m., keep in mind, we got this veteran crypto bringing it out. We need some graphics for custom flags for the web store. We could make a custom blockchain basement flag, and I will absolutely rock this. I'll put the flag on my car. This is my flag. Crypto Glass Works very reasonably called out. I did not paint the wooden block holding this, and I used basically just industrial, what do you call them, zip ties. But you know what? I'm a hillbilly. I'm a hillbilly that loves crypto, loves my family, loves you guys out in the chat, and I'll be seeing you real soon. Take care.